הבטחתם סביר.
A passable protest. This is exploring HaYehudim shel Choref 73 by The Jews Are Coming. So a little bit of background on the TV satirical show The Jews Are Coming. This show was first aired on TV in Israel in November 2014, and by late 2020, 4 seasons have aired, produced by Kan Channel 11, which is Israel's public broadcasting company. The show is known for its irreverent approach to mostly Jewish sacred text and mythology, but also it satirizes Israeli historical figures and current events. It's a really successful TV show, and you can actually find quite a lot of their sketches on YouTube where someone has attached translated subtitles. This sketch is important to know. It emerged just before the coronavirus reached us. It's worth knowing that this is a parody of a song which emerged back in '94. The original song was just called The Children of Winter 73. The lyrics were by Shmuel Hasfari, a renowned playwright and scriptwriter, and the music was by Uri Vidislavsky. And the song itself was released in the year of the Oslo Accords, when a peace process was beginning with the Palestinians, and it gained official approval and was mostly sung by army bands, army choirs, and at the transition ceremony between Yom HaZikaron and Yom HaAtzmaut, between Memorial Day and Independence Day, it was actually sung by the army choir at that official event. So it was very much given a vote of approval, whilst at the same time many people critiqued the song for being a little bit too self-pitying, a little bit too frightened. It's effectively a song sung by the children of those who fought in the Yom Kippur War of 1973. In the Yom Kippur War, just under 1 in every 1,000 Israelis was killed in this terrible war, which wreaked terrible damage to Israel, its society, its trust in politics. And the main thing was that parents emerged from that war vowing that there would be no more wars, and that when a son was circumcised, they were blessed with the hope and almost expectation that this child would not end up being conscripted to the army. You promised a dove, were the famous lines. You promised a dove of peace, an olive branch. You promised peace at home. You promised spring and blossoms. You promised to fulfill your promises. You promised a dove. And since then there have been many parodies of this song, from the right as well as from the left. Latma, which is a right-wing satire show on YouTube, they came up with a parody of the song, attacking those politicians who worked on the Oslo Agreement. They accuse them of self-aggrandizement, of just looking after themselves at the cost of lives. You promised a dove, an olive branch. We got Qassams on the house, Qassam rockets. You promised calm and joy. We only got expulsions and explosions. Watch out for your Nobel Prize so that it doesn't get dirtied by shrapnel or blood or tears. And so given that background, I think now is the time to go and listen to the song. Up in the top right of the screen, you'll see there's an I. If you click on that, it'll take you to the clip of the song with embedded subtitled translations, and you can also find the link down below. See you in a minute.
הבטחתם סביר.
So having heard this song, You Promised Passable, one might say it's pretty depressing and hopeless. And remember, this was actually brought out before the coronavirus. When looking at your country, do you share this hopelessness, or do you see rays of light? And is this representation of young adults in Israel one that you recognize, or do you have a different sense of your counterparts in Israel? You know, these are all representations of the 20-odd-year-olds who are singing in this army choir fashion with deep earnestness, but singing of total depression and despair. Is this a representation of the Israelis that you know these days? And finally, while the original song, back in 94 talks about the security situation, about wars, this version only seems to refer to security obliquely and focuses much more on socio-economic issues. Can I buy a house? Where am I going to live? Does this surprise you? And if so, in what way?
הבטחתם ספיר.
This is a passable protest, exploring HaYehudim shel Choref 73 by The Jews Are Coming. It was brought to you by Makom, the Israel Education Lab of the Jewish Agency, together with Moishe House, in a partnership generously funded by the Jim Joseph Foundation. Thanks very much.